Dusty plains, scorching sun, and the distant whistle of a lonesome train. This was the world that shaped Colt McAllister, a man whose name was whispered in both fear and awe across the West. Born in the shadow of a small, lawless town called Dry Creek, Colt had learned early that the world was cruel, and kindness was a rare treasure. His father, a blacksmith, had been robbed by a greedy land baron, and his mother had vanished one stormy night, leaving Colt to fend for himself. By the age of 16, Colt had become a shadow in the streets, a boy who could pick a pocket as swiftly as he could ride a horse. He had a code, a silent promise he made to himself after seeing his family destroyed by wealth and greed. He would take from the rich and give to those who were suffering, even if it meant becoming a wanted man. His first major act of defiance came on a dusty autumn evening. The Golden Spur Saloon, a lavish place where the richest men of the town boasted of their wealth. The saloon's owner, a slick man named Yep Harrington, flaunted his riches without a care in the world, laughing at the poor folk waiting outside. Colt watched from the shadows, a plan already forming in his mind. He knew the saloon's layout like the back of his hand. His father had once done work on the building's foundations, giving Colt intimate knowledge of secret passages and hidden doors, his black boots barely making a sound on the polished wooden floor. The smell of whiskey, cigars, and money filled the air. Yep Harrington was busy counting the gold, unaware that a dark figure had entered his domain. Colt's eyes scanned the room, noting the positions of the guards and the patrons too drunk to notice anything. Timing was everything. With the precision of a seasoned thief, heart pounding, he melted back into the shadows, exiting through the alley where the wind carried the faint scent of sagebrush. The townsfolk would later whisper about that night, some calling it a miracle, others calling it blasphemy. Colt McAllister had struck, and no soul had been harmed. But as he counted the gold in the safety of his hideout, Colt knew this was just the beginning. For every coin he took, for every injustice he corrected, the law and the ruthless men who wielded it would hunt him with unrelenting fury. That night, as Colt rode his horse across the open plains, the moon casting a silver glow over the landscape, he felt the heavy weight of both freedom and consequence. The wind whispered secrets of the towns he would visit, the rich he would confront, and the lives he would change. Colt's legend was beginning, not with gunfire, but with cunning, courage, and the unyielding spirit of a man who refused to bow to tyranny. In the small town of Dry Creek, children would later hear tales of a shadowy figure who appeared when the wealthy acted with cruelty, a man who left justice in his wake. To some, he was a hero. To others, a menace, and he would ensure it never claimed the innocent again. The next morning, Colt awoke to the distant sound of hooves. Word had spread about the Golden Spur heist, and Yep Harrington was not one to forgive. He had hired a ruthless gang, known across the West as the Black Vultures, to track down the mysterious thief. Colt knew it was only a matter of time before they found him. Riding through the canyons, Colt's eyes scanned every shadow. Suddenly, dust clouds rose in the distance. The gang was closing in. Colt's hand instinctively rested on the grip of his revolver, but he was smarter than brute force. He led the gang into a narrow gorge, where their horses stumbled, and the outlaws' numbers became a disadvantage. A firefight erupted, bullets sparking off rocks. Colt moved like a shadow, striking swiftly and disappearing before the gang could regroup. By nightfall, he had vanished again, leaving only a single feathered hat behind as a warning. Speed and survival. Every town he rode into, every shadow he disappeared into, would add to his legend. The outlaw who stole from the rich, outsmarted the ruthless, and vanished like smoke in the desert night. Colt McAllister had become a legend across the West, but his greatest challenge awaited him in Redstone, where Yep Harrington had set a deadly trap. Facing the ruthless Black Vultures gang at the abandoned mill, Colt's courage and skill were put to the ultimate test. Watch the thrilling climax of the outlaw who stole from the rich, as he outsmarts his enemies, delivers justice, and rides into the horizon, leaving hope in his wake. Subscribe for more Wild West legends and follow Colt's adventure.